because they're not victims yet. That is a word to say yet, because there will be two sides, folks. It will be good and it will be evil. And you're going to have to pick what side you're going to be on. There is no choice, because evil is going to come for you. They're not going to let you go. They want everyone. They want each and everything that walks, crawls, and flies on this planet to be chipped and accounted for like inventory. That's what these big businesses are. They want to categorize and make the maximum amount of money and have the maximum control out of every living and non-living thing on this planet. And what Stu's been saying tonight is absolutely true. Stu and Tom have been out there over 25 years researching by becoming victims themselves of these criminals, okay, and they've come on to this show weekly, every Wednesday at 10 p.m. to talk about these issues. And they both have websites. And Stu, what are the websites?
It's StuWebb.com. Just go into StuWebb.com. The reports that we put up, Heneghan puts up, a lot of people chip in on those reports. These are U.S. intelligence officers chipping in on the reports. These are FBI agents chipping in on the reports. These are U.S. attorneys and former U.S. attorneys, people inside government at the highest echelons who leak the information to us because they want the American people to know it, and they want the American people to do something about it. The military, I've said, why doesn't the military arrest these people? I'm beginning to believe our military, excuse the expression, are all wearing women's panties. I don't think any of them have the guts to do their job. Their job is if the commander-in-chief and the assistant commander-in-chief commit treason and sedition, they're supposed to shut them down. Barack Obama is aiding and abetting George Herbert Walker Bush, George W. Bush, Leonard Millman, Larry Mizell, Norman Brownstein, Bill and Hillary Clinton, the ones that stole, robbed, and looted this country. And they're not putting anybody in jail. That means he's aiding and abetting, committing treason and sedition. He's obstructing justice. Richard Nixon had an enemy list that put him out of office. George W. Bush had an enemy list. I was on the list of the 150 Justice Department Gonzales list to be monitored. They're enemies. They're political enemies. Barack Obama has not changed a thing. They're still spying on the American people. We still got a war in Afghanistan. We have a war in Iraq, both illegal wars, all over George Herbert Walker Bush and what they call the Aramco, the American Arabian Oil Company that was formed in 1972 with George Herbert Walker Bush, Henry Kissinger, the Saudi royal family that robbed and looted America. The Five Sisters, they call them. Used to be the Seven Sisters. The big oil companies, Exxon, Mobil, the others. They're Aramco, the American Arabian Oil Company. Every time you fill your gas tank, you're giving money to Henry Kissinger and George Herbert Walker Bush. Every time. You say, oh, no, they can't have that much control. They have that much control. They have destroyed this country. Soon, before the end of this year, you may not see any more postings by me on the Internet. I may not do this radio show any longer. I may have to go totally covert and overt. Mm-hmm. All of us may have to do that. The American people may have to come to a point that they're going to get serious. And at some point, it's going to happen. A lot of people in the intelligence community have said there's an uprising coming, and the government knows it, and they're going to put it down. And I've asked, how will the government put down the uprising of the American people? Oh, they'll surround the cities. They'll bring the military in by rail. They'll bring them in by trucks on the freeway. They'll surround the major cities. They'll let everybody go through, and those that have nothing because there won't be food supply coming in the major cities, they'll go out to the neighborhoods and rob and loot the neighbors and just literally live in their homes until the food supply runs out. You say, oh, no, that's not going to happen. America, we're the greatest, freest country alive. If we're free and we're the greatest country, how come there's no justice? How come there's no rule of law? There is no rule of law any longer in America.
Very true.
Go to a court of law. How many of you been to a court of law and got screwed? Everybody. Anybody even listening that's been in the court of law probably has been screwed. Okay? There's no justice there. There hasn't been an attorney general put in office since 1981 that's clean. Every one of them were there to obstruct justice. The U.S. Justice Department, Inspector General's office has been an obstructor and cover-up meister for the Bush, Clinton, Millman, Linder crime syndicate for years. Lee Reddick. Now it's David Mann. I got evidence on David Mann of taking bribes from Leonard Millman to obstruct justice over Silverado savings in the Denver airport scandal, both. Billions of dollars ripped off the American people. $1.5 trillion savings and loan scandal. David Mann took a $1.5 million bribe and laundered it through M&L business machines of Denver, Colorado, and I have the proof and evidence and the accounts and copies of those accounts. Yet, he's the Inspector General of the U.S. Department of Justice, and he was paid off by the Bush, Millman, Clinton, Linder crime syndicate. Throughout the top echelon of every agency of the United States government is corrupt. All those people need to be arrested. Charges need to be filed against them. There's millions of us, folks, and few of them. There's 50,000 of them entrenched in the United States government that are part of this mafia crime syndicate. They need to be arrested. All of Division Number 5 of the FBI needs to be arrested. All of it. Every one of their stooges that are out there slandering and demonizing those whistleblowers and those that are patriotic Americans trying to keep the country intact and report to the people. They go around slandering them and infiltrating them. They need to be arrested. Every one of them. Now, if you're a cop, you have an arrest warrant. It's called a citizen's arrest, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know the word. Arrest them. You have the right as a citizen to grab somebody off the street for an illegal act or detain them until the police arrive. You turn your charges over to the police department. I'm bringing charges. This guy just assaulted my wife, as an example. They will take those charges from you or from her, and they will cart the person off to jail, and you sign the complaint. All you have to do is go in to where my special comment is, go in and find the law for yourself. Everybody in America has heard rumors about their federal congressman or senator. Well, Senator so-and-so, he was written about in the local paper. He still gets an office, and he had a special deal over here on a house, and he had a second home that some contractor remodeled for him, and some bankster paid it off. And, that's how he got paid off and bribed, or he was involved in that land deal over there on here, or he was involved in this, or he was involved in that, or whatever. You've heard about the deal. Charges never filed. Nobody brought them up on charges because they were obstructing justice. There's no statute of limitations on murder. There's no statute of limitations